Good afternoon. How's it all going for you all today? Hope you're all doing well. If you're in Missouri, I hope you're staying safe with all that weather out there. Um, Remember, just because it's cloudy outside doesn't mean it has to be cloudy in your life. You are the sunshine in your own world. So today, my video that I'm doing for today is as follows. If you see on the description, is the lens through which I see the world through and my perspective of it. We all have a certain, I guess how I can describe it is this. All of our experiences that we see and how we see and view the outside world around us comes from a mental, from ideas and things that have been taught, that have come to us and we've learned over the course of our life. So, in a lot of ways, depending on which way you think about how we are, your understanding, when we're born, if from one perspective, people think we're just clean slates, and we everything that we have in our world um, is just what creates our who we are. And there's some of us that also believe that as we come into this world, that we're born, um, we already have a multitude of information and knowledge within us as babies that's given to us genetically and through other means, that then as we go about our life it brings those things forth or closes those things down. I am a person that kind of has a middle of the road viewpoint on that. I do believe that as we come into this world, we already have been given a lot of pre-programming by the infinite creator, God, whoever you want to think of. Also, I do understand through science that the decisions that our previous generations of our families have made actually affect us in our health and what parts of our genetics are on and off and how healthy we will be in our life based off of the decisions of previous generations. That's where the thought process of generational curses and other things come in from the past. It's actually very much a part of genetics. Um, so I do have that understanding. I also understand that as we go through life, our experiences will cause us to see things in different lights and stuff like that. Um, so all of that creates either so if you look at your mind as a like the your conscious mind as like a wind windshield in front of your point of view of how you view everything from through um all those different experiences you've gone through your life are like film and dirt and things of that nature that affect your how you see the world. So you could either look at it as like, oh, you've got a dirty windshield kind of thing. So, and none of this is good, right, wrong, good, or bad. Um, I just want to share with you how I tend to see things in my life, and hopefully, maybe how sharing how I see the world maybe will help you to see the world in a different light. Maybe it'll help you to clean certain things off your view of your view of the world that maybe you thought were okay, maybe they aren't anymore to you. So first off, I the way I one way I see the world is from a understanding of I grew up with a father who was an engineer. So the idea of seeing the world through engineering and scientific and understanding um, is very important to me. I use that methodology, that thinking process, to kind of come to terms with things and understand things. I also have a very spiritual understanding of the world. I've been a born again Christian since I was 5 years old. And but then also I'm very open minded as well. So all those are certain parts of my how I view things. But also because I have the scientific understanding and the willingness to test things out, I'm always testing the way I view the world and how I see things. And if things don't match up, then whatever doesn't match up or doesn't seem right at the time, I will throw away. And as new information comes in, I test things out and I may bring things back. That's how I see the world. That's how I view my world. It helps me to make sense of the world and my um, ability to be a part of it. The other way I see things is I don't see a me and you. There is no separation in how I see things anymore. At one point, I used to sit there and see a world as separate. Um, I used to see the world as mine. What is mine is mine. What's yours is yours, and we keep it that way. That wall, so to speak. Um, but I've come to the realization that we really are truly all connected and all essentially one. It is riddled throughout our ancient traditions, our religions, um, our spiritual upbringings. If you get down to the nitty gritty in your Bible, that's what it's saying. We are all one. We are all connected. Um, so, being able to see the world in that light and that understanding really does help you to see things from a different light and it makes you look at things differently. One of the biggest things that having that understanding makes me realize is that our borders that we look at um, and how we see things in the world, if you really embody that, you will see the world in a completely different light. And you'll realize that a lot of things we fight with, we're fighting with ourselves. We're not wanting to see certain aspects of who we are. And so, if you look at the world through that light, you realize that all the conflict that's outside of you is a reflection of what's going on inside of you. And as you take care of those things inside of you, you allow God to heal those things inside of you, your outer world will change. And as I'm doing that, I know that to be true. I can know that and I can validate that as being true. So these are things that I know of. There's one other thing that I'm looking at as I see the world now, from things that have happened in the world. I will do a separate video on this topic alone, but this one is we live in a open source economy. We are getting to the point where we're having an open source economy and also an open source world. And that viewpoint is very much trying to keep things secret, trying to keep things to yourself and not sharing it um, with all those around you. Um, it's just not It's not going to be the way that we're go as we go forward in our world and in the future. It's not going to be part. It's already happening now. Even your Bible will sit there and say that nothing that is kept said in secret will stay secret. So, with that being said, in this day and age, in this world right now, that is very much coming to pass where all things that are done in secret or been secret for a long time are coming out. Whether we like it or not, whether it's good, bad, right, or wrong, it's happening. And we have to be okay with that. So, and a lot of that's very exciting. What does come out, some of it's very heart wrenching and not good. At least to depending on how you see things. But it's allowing us to heal and cleanse ourselves and truly be let go of the bad. So These are just a few of the lenses through which I see the world. And I really do pray and hope that this is able to help you understand that. I mean, the world, our life here on the planet Earth is fleeting. It continues to expand, and our world is the things that are happening right now are so exciting, and I love it. I love seeing different things that are happening in our world and changes that are happening. And a lot of it's so good. So good. And yet, but then I don't watch the news. I literally do not watch news. Doesn't mean I'm not well informed. It's just I don't let myself be programmed by television anymore. I do have my sources of information where I will look at and I will go through and see things. And a lot of times, by having that way of being very choosy of how I find my information, it allows me to have a very well informed understanding and be able to see things from a different point of view. And so, I just encourage you to be very choosy about how you find and implement what information that you use to um, make the decisions in your life. I encourage you to clean off some of the old ways that you see the world that may not be serving you anymore. And realize that we really are all connected. Even science has proven that now. And our ancient biblical and spiritual traditions have been telling us that for thousands of years already. So, and for lack of better words, get with the times, people. Get with the times. It's a beautiful time in our lives right now. Whether you want to believe it or not, it is beautiful times. And it's time to wake up. Time to see what's right in front of us. We are at a turning point, and it's up to us to decide, is it going to be for the greater good of all? Or is it just going to sit there and we're going to let the same old things be the same old things and just hurt? And so, yeah, a lot of great things happening, and I'm going to have a lot of videos on what I'm seeing. And whether you like it or not, this is what's happening. So, enjoy it. Love you guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. And I'll see you.